All right. Hey, ladies, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Let me make sure that I am live inside of, I'm actually streaming this on my page, YouTube, and inside of the group, but I want to make sure inside the group that I am there. Hey, Christy, can you hear me? I see your comment, so that's always a great thing. Let's see.
Happy Tuesday.
Okay.
Happy Tuesday. Let me make
Cool. All right. So we are live, and I'm gonna post that there. Hopefully, I get to see all the comments as they're coming in. As I said, I was streaming this to multiple places, so if I miss your comment, it is not on purpose. I will make sure I come back and acknowledge it, address it, and all those good old things. Hope you guys are having an amazing Tuesday, y'all. I totally almost forgot. Not that I forgot, but I'm in the process of recording a summit. Excuse me. So I'm in the process of recording the summit. I had just did my last summit at like 6 o'clock, and I was ready to wind down. I had got ready to put my pajamas on, and then I was like, hold up, what today is? Today is Tuesday. Like I had just got a reminder and stuff, and I was like, it's Tuesday night. It's time for our weekly chat and stuff. So yes, I've had an amazing day. The day's actually been really good and stuff. It's definitely been eye-opening. This week has just been great in general. So many great things that are happening behind the scenes. And as I'm putting this summit together, so I can't wait to share that with you guys and wait till enrollment is open. So y'all know Tuesdays, this chat thing is just pretty much just open. I'm also going to share the link for those of you, any of you who want to jump on live. Tonight we're talking about, your area of expertise. And my girls are still out on, they're still in Vegas from their summer break. So they're not here. So it's just me and the dog. So you will see him in the background. You may possibly, again, see him trying to give me his toys because he's trying to make me take his ball and stuff right now. And to what's name to play with him, so he wants to play and stuff, and I totally understand that, but he's gonna have to wait. So let me share this inside the group because I just tried to share it, but it looks like it shared it to over on YouTube. I'm not for sure if I put it in the comments, so I'm gonna put this inside of my group. So if you're inside of my group, you can join me live for the conversation. So I'm gonna move this here. No, I don't want to put myself in time out. He should have went to Vegas too. They should be back from Vegas. Honestly, like they should actually be back, but they're not. And he's actually been really good and stuff. And again, I'm, that's a whole nother thing. Surprised of having a dog. So May will be a full year. So I'm dropping the link inside of the Facebook group. If you guys are not inside of the Female Entrepreneurs Mastermind group, that's the place where you need to be, right? Because inside the group you have access, right? Membership comes with some benefits. So like I said, tonight is all about talking about your area of expertise. So if any of you guys are struggling with that, this is definitely the place to be to get your questions answered and have a conversation around that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because like I said, I want to value your time and I want to get right into the detail. Like I love this. This is one of my topics that I enjoy with really helping women to turn their expertise into profitable, right? To actually make money based off of the information So I can't begin to express how, again, how excited I am about this topic, to be able to share this information with you guys tonight, to have a conversation around this and, what it looks like. And if you, truly want to turn what you have or what you know into a profitable business, that you're on the right track, right? That you can absolutely do it. So tonight I'm going to help you, brainstorm if that's where you're at, ways that you can turn your expertise into a full-time business, or maybe you're just looking for some part-time income. Okay, but at the end of the day, this can actually work for you, especially if you want to work smart, not hard, and all those kind of different things, right? Having systems and strategies in place and having a process that you take people through helps you be able to create that, that freedom and stuff that people talk about, because it's so easy to get online and start an online business and be glued to this computer like all day, feeling like that's what you have to do in order to be a success and stuff, right? So I'm all about having some systems, being able to leverage your time and your expertise as well, so that you're not feeling like you're all over the place. You get to decide how you show up and when you show up and all that different stuff. And of course, you got to do it consistently, so we definitely talk about that a lot, being consistent in how we show up, in this online space. But you get to decide what that consistency looks like. So maybe you are at a place in your life where maybe you already have a business, but you're struggling to, make it profitable, right? Or maybe because of COVID now, things have had to change because we're in this, this new norm. Like, I don't even know if this is like a new norm yet, right? Because it's constantly changing, but it's put a lot of people in a place where they are without their traditional 9-to-5, and they're looking for different ways on how to be able to, leverage this online place, be able to actually make money doing what it is that they do, and all that kind of, based off of what it is that they know. All right, and ways to be able to actually make that happen and stuff. So hold on 1 second. Stop it, doggy. And then so maybe you're having maybe to have to homeschool your kids. So maybe things have had to change because now you're at home with the kids and stuff, and actually having to homeschool them. Like, you can't leave them and do the whole daycare thing and stuff. So I want to be able to share with you how to use the expertise that you already have and make some profit from it. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss any comments and stuff. So now I want to be able to show you the fastest way to get started. And one of the things is you're going to have to realize that you don't have to be the expert. Like, you don't have to know it all. I think a lot of times some people hear the word like expert, and that frightens them. If that frightens you, or you feel a certain type of way when someone asks you, what are you the expert in? Do me a favor, put a 1 in the comments. See, and Christy says she likes organizing and being productive, and how can she leverage that? So we're definitely going to talk about that, right? I like being productive too. And I know you are good at organizing and mind mapping and things of that sort. Yeah, my sisters now, I got to, let me mute y'all real quick. So they are over here going off in this chat message and stuff. So, all those different things. So, but you don't have to be an expert. So yeah, because I think a lot of times the people hear that and you hear the word expert and kind of like cringe and things of that sort. Like, you don't have to be the expert in the world, right? You don't have to be the expert when it comes to your niche. The truth is, like, you really only need to know just a couple of levels about your topic, about your area of expertise, than a few people in your audience, in order to create a thriving business and actually create something for the long term, right? Like, I never say that I know it all and stuff. I share what it is that I know based off of what I, learned through education, through investing in myself, trainings, program, experience, all those different things. Is there someone else that knows more than me? Yes, absolutely. There are so many other coaches in the world, and I'm so glad that there are, right? Because I cannot serve everyone. So like Christy, as we get to diving into this, as you figure out, what organizing and what being productive looks like, like, how can you leverage that? Like, there are going to be other people out there that do exactly what it is that you do, but that's a great thing because you can't serve everyone. So I always say there's room for all of us to be able to grow and room for us all to be able to profit from what it is that we know. Okay. So again, one of the things that I would, if you don't have, is grab some pen and some paper. So we're going to let's talk about this. Let's work this out. If you're catching the replay, do the hashtag replay, but do the work, especially if this is one of those areas where you're struggling in. Don't come on here and just get the information and do nothing with it and stuff, because I value your time and you should value your time. So you want to make sure that you're hanging out and spending time where you need to be, right? And you're actually getting value from that information and you're doing something with it. So I want you to get some paper and begin to start writing down the different skills that you have. Look at the work that you've done in the past. This could be something that you do at work, something that you could have possibly volunteered to do. back, so forth in your life that you really enjoyed, keyword, that you enjoyed doing and you're good at doing, that other people might ask you to do. So, sometimes you become that go-to person when people are like, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do XYZ? And it's something you can knock it out like it is like nothing. It comes to you naturally. And again, you enjoy doing it. You're like, yeah, I do it, no problem, right? If they asked you to do it, you don't be like, oh my gosh, why did I say yes to this? Those things that excite you, okay? And begin to ask the right questions is one of the other things that you need to do, right? So even if you're good at something, you may actually hate it and not want to do it. So for me, that is accounting. So my background, my degree is in accounting. And a lot of people just think, naturally like, oh, let me call Lakeisha, ask her some tax questions, some accounting questions and things of that sort. Even when I started, looking at ways to be able to make money online and wanted to get in this online space, I had a mentor or a coach that I had hired and let go, like kind of like immediately when, I came to her and it was like, oh, she was like, it's so many other coaches, so many people doing that. Why don't you take what you do in the field of accounting and leverage that? Let's do that. You should go that route because it's not a lot of people doing, XYZ. No, like, did you not just hear me? Like, okay, I signed up for accounting, but this is not something I can see myself doing long term. And if it was, then okay, as I was working on my master's and things of that sort, I would have continued and went and got my CPA. But I realized that this was not for me, that I could not see myself doing this, and being able to retire from it, if that makes sense, right? So again, just because you're good at something, you may actually not want to do it. So you got to make sure you take all that kind of stuff in consideration too. Okay, so ask yourself the right questions so you know what it is that you really want to do and the thing that you want to do for a long time. This isn't, something that you're jumping into like, oh, I'll do this for the next 90 days, the next year, and things of that sort. You want to do something for, think about it for the long run. Okay. So again, I'm not going to try to be a bookkeeper for someone else, try to do their taxes, try to give them tax advice. Again, I could probably teach others on how to find the perfect bookkeeper, or I can still show how to start a bookkeeping business, even though I don't want to. So like I've had clients, like when I first got started, who wanted to get into, starting their own tax business. So yes, I was able to help a client to do that, but that's not something that I want to do. And then another thing is that if you're not good at is asking your friends and family. Okay, so if you're not sure what you're good at, ask the people who are closest to you, who are around you, what they think that you're good at. Because sometimes other people from the outside can see in us what we don't see in ourselves. Okay, so even reaching out to them. Okay, and you want positive feedback, right? So making sure that they are clear about what it is that you're asking. What are the things that they see that, the skill sets and the talents and stuff that you have that you may be blind to or that you don't even pay attention to, that they see as like, yes, girl, that's your thing. Like, you are awesome when it comes to this. Like, I know if I reach out to you for XYZ that you got this, I don't have to follow up on it and, things of that sort. And one of the things that has definitely helped me is taking a personality test. How many of you have taken a personality test? I know a lot of people don't believe in them, but some of them are very accurate. Okay, and it can give you ideas of what you actually might like to do. Mind Tools is a good one, but the one that I use is 16 personalities. Let me see. I'm gonna put the link up as well. 16 personalities is a really good one. I definitely recommend it. This is one let me see. So this is one I definitely recommend. This has helped me like in the corporate world as well. And it's helped me like identify kind of like my personality types. And it definitely made sense. Like when I went and looked at this, it gave me as far as like careers, it was accounting was definitely one of them. Counseling was definitely one of them and stuff like that. So I can see how, this coaching plays into place with that, and also how accounting did too. So it talks about the different, being assertive, all these different things. This is the one I recommend. This is the one that I've used. I've, sent it. It takes a minute to take the test. but it's definitely very well worth it. So I definitely recommend it. So definitely check out 16personalities.com. Take it, take the test. And if you're inside of our group, come back and share your results and stuff. I'd like be very surprised as if it lines up with what you kind of like envision for yourself, or as you start looking at it, if if it sparks some different ideas for you, or like, you know what, yes, that may be of interest for me. That may be something that I want to do. Okay, they can help provide so much insight. Okay, and one of the other things is, of course, hiring a life coach. One way to get clear about your expertise is find a life coach who specializes in helping you figure out what to do with your life. Okay, so this is probably one of the fastest ways to figure it out, but depending on, but of course, it's going to require you some form of an investment. It's going to require an investment. But again, that's why if you find someone who does specifically, working in that area of helping you figure out what it is that what your area of expertise is, that's great. Or someone to just have a clarity call with. So, because sometimes we have these thoughts in our head, all this different stuff, but we don't take action on it, or we're second guessing ourselves. So sometimes it's good to have a good sounding board, and it's good to have, that's why I love masterminds and things of that sort. So you can actually talk to someone, right? So you are not keeping all these thoughts in your head, again, writing them down. And when you're doing, having a conversation with someone, it's not to get their approval, or not to get their amen on it. It should be more so of a clarity type of conversation where you're deciding. Maybe they're listening and they're asking the right questions, or asking you questions so you can come up with the right answers and things of that sort. But it's not for them to figure out what it is that you're supposed to be doing, but you'll get there by asking the right questions, if that makes sense, right? And it may be something too that keeps coming back to you, that you've done in the past, that you've had some experience with, and it keeps showing up in your life. Okay, so that was the thing for me this week. Like sometimes our expertise, like I know what my expertise is, and then sometimes we also have this thing called our purpose, and sometimes those are different, right? And being able to tie those back in. So like this week, as I'm working on doing the summit, and then I have another client that I recently took on, and a lot of times I focus on, hey, helping you create a great game plan and a strategy to make things happen. But a lot of the times it's not the strategy. A lot of the times it is the mindset, right? Do you believe that you can be successful? And also, what it is that you want, and then identifying what's really holding you back. Okay, because if you've been in this game for some time and you're not getting the success that you want, that you're not having success, there's some inner work that is there. There's some other work that needs to be done. There's some deeper rooted issues into why you're not moving forward. If you're not showing up in your business, like if you're currently doing something and you're not showing up and it feels uncomfortable, it feels uneasy and things of that sort, there's something deeper that is going on there. And that's the part where you need to get, to and stuff. So let me see. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Let me know. Let me see. Okay. And then another thing that you need to do is you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses, right? Sometimes we don't know these things, or either we're very hard on ourselves. Like I'm definitely one of those ones that's hard on myself. I hear that all the time from people. And it's because I have high expectations of myself and things of that sort, right? So it's always good to be honest. And if you're not going to be honest with anyone else, be honest with yourself, okay, about your strengths and about your weaknesses. So if you have a problem with the whole imposter syndrome, because I know a lot of times that comes up where people feel like they aren't qualified to help people. Like you have an inkling on what it is that you're supposed to be doing, but for some reason you don't show up, or some reason you don't say yes to that. You don't move forward. You don't do it because of this whole imposter syndrome. You feel like you aren't qualified. How many of you on here, have an idea, or have, like I said, have that inkling of what it is that you're supposed to be doing, but you don't feel qualified? So I'll wait a second while I get the dog come up under the desk because he's doing extra on here. Come on, out. Okay. All right. So again, knowing your strengths. If you have, like I said, you struggle with imposter syndrome, that's where, working with someone else, reading a lot of books about what it is that your area of expertise, that's going to help you, right? It's okay to be good at something also, and to admit that you are good at it. Because I think a lot of times too, we don't give ourselves credit for what we know. Like, queens, you are dope. And then knowing that you are dope and walking into that. Okay, so Christy, so we're gonna definitely talk. So with this whole productivity thing and organization, I don't know, of course, some of the first things that come to mind for me are like virtual assistants, helping other people organize their systems and their structure and things of that sort, because you are good at organizing. So like, I'm pretty sure if I said I needed to do X, Y, Z, this is what I need to do and stuff, you would be able to help me map that out and put together for me what that's supposed to look like. Let me know if that makes sense, because I can definitely see kind of like, is your area of expertise of you kind of like working behind the scene with someone else to help them map out their stuff, maybe helping mapping out their systems of operations. Like I said, virtual assistant, not necessarily social media. I just lost my signal. Let me see. Can you guys let me know? Do you guys still see me? Because the screen just went off. So what happened with your virtual assistant business? Let me know, why did you shut it down, or why did you stop? And most importantly, did you enjoy it? Okay, cool. I'm glad you can see and hear me, because the screen just went like blank and then it came back on. So let me know in the comments what that looked like, more importantly, what it felt like, and why did you pivot, or what happened? And so as you're doing that, as you guys begin to write out the different things that you enjoy doing, one of the things that you also need to do is you have to narrow down your list. So once you have a list of things that you enjoy doing, that you've done in the past, that you have a skill set for doing, start marking off the things that you don't like and that you don't want to do. So what part of it got crazy? And what part of it got crazy is what I want to know. Because because sometimes sometimes we're operating in the place where we're supposed to be, but within a business, you get to design what that looks like, if that makes sense. So maybe there were some aspects of the business that you're like, okay, I like this, but I don't want to do this. You get to create and design what it looks like, what it is that you do, what services you offer, and things of that sort, what tasks you complete, all that good old stuff. So let's talk about that and stuff. So again, so some of the things, like I said, narrow it down. Take that topic and write down the ones where maybe there's some few money-making ideas associated with it. And make sure you can envision yourself doing it before making a choice, before making a decision about what it is that you want to do. Like, can you see yourself 3 and 5 years from now? Like, what does that look like? Okay, and just start the clients and the request, but didn't want to pay. So with that tells me that you needed to create, of course, get the money, some form of the payment up front, agree to the amount of hours that you would work, and things of that sort, and put yourself in a position where you attract ideal clients. Because I do also know what it's like to work in this coaching and taking on clients that don't serve you, clients that you don't like to work with, and things of that sort. So there was a one point in my business where I was building out funnels and things of that sort, because internet marketing is not new to me, any of that. Like 2008, I think, is when I got online and started learning internet marketing. And at one point I ran from my purpose because things just got really crazy in my personal life and things of that sort. So it was easy for me to switch to the whole business coaching. And then I had other coaches asking kind of like how I started my business and things of that sort, right? So I've always had an idea of had a passion for entrepreneurship, right? But then, things got, again, the internet in general gets very distracting. It gets very noisy. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should be doing it. So of course, at that time I learned how to build out funnels, create, email marketing series with the 5 emails and all this kind of extra stuff, invested all this education into learning how to do that, how to, build on WordPress and things of that sort. So then I started taking on clients and helping them build out funnels and things of that sort. That was not fun. It was the most draining thing that I could have done. And again, it's like one of those ones, just because you got the skill set does not mean that you should be doing it and stuff. So you said the clients and the requests, and when you started, virtual assistants were not really in. So you probably didn't explain it correctly. And you had different levels of pay for hours. Nope, one level of pay. Depending on what those services are. And it's definitely in now. And I can see where that whole productivity and organization could be used in that. And I'm not saying that's what you should be doing, but that was the first thing that came to mind when I thought about, kind of like this digital world where we're at and how you could be able to leverage that. So I would definitely like for you to brainstorm and, definitely do the 16 personalities test, and then brainstorm and come up with maybe some other things and let's see where that goes and stuff. Maybe it is that, because gosh, sometimes we have to go back. And that was my thing this week while I was like all boohoo and ugly cry and stuff, is because sometimes God takes us back to something for a reason. So like I had stopped doing the whole life coaching aspect of my business and started just focusing on strategy. But, for me this week, as I'm doing this summit and doing this, working with clients and stuff, I'm realizing the importance of identifying what's holding that person back. And then also sometimes the healing that is needed, that is attached to that. And that's the part of the business where I got my certification in, and my, my own personal experiences that I had ran from, that I kind of like placed on the back burner because I didn't want to do the ugly work. And sometimes that's where the real work happens, and that's where the transformation and the breakthroughs begin. And where, again, like I say, sometimes it's not always all about strategy. There's a deeper reason of what's holding a person back. And for me, that was, how God showed up this week and reminded me sometimes that you have to go back and stuff. And I'm not saying, that's what you need to do, but that's how he showed up in my life this week, and with the different connections and the people. Yeah, it's the different connections and the people this week that I've had the blessings to be able to encounter. It just reminded me of the work that I used to do and stuff, right? So yeah, sometimes we got to do that ugly work. We got to do the stuff that's, again, the unsexy part of the business in order to have that big breakthrough of what's really holding us back, to get to the root of it, so we can stop going in circles and hitting these brick walls and stopping and starting and things of that sort, especially when you know that there's something greater out there for you, and that you are called to make an impact. And when I say make an impact, I don't necessarily mean it's like, oh, this has to be globally, or you're called to serve 5,000 women, 10,000 women. It may be only a couple of hundred, it may be 25, or whatever that looks like and stuff like that. But I think we're all called to serve and make an impact in some form of a level of a person's life, business, things of that sort. Yeah, so the circles, you get tired of going in circles, and it's like, how in the hell did I get back here again, right? So that's the part that I want to help women to stop doing that, right? And to be able to move forward out of that cycle. Okay, and then also begin to look at what type of projects are you attracted to? Like maybe there's books, like if you find yourself always on Amazon purchasing a book, or something comes across your news feed that catches your attention, a certain topic, what are those things that grab your attention? And this is not something, ladies, that you're going to possibly do in one night. You know, take the week and just really just listen to your life. Really just pay attention to the different signs that are showing up and stuff. And I believe when you ask for it, what you were seeking, that you're going to receive it, right? So, you know, also like what are the topics that you could talk about all day where you don't actually have to, you know, plan for. So like how we're sitting here, we're having this whole conversation. I can sit here and talk to you all night about, you know, how to profit from your passion, how to create a whole, you know, program and product and stuff for it. And so you see here, he is being all extra. He's like, he like, you about to shut this show down. Say hey, Smokey. So yeah, learning about other cultures, that is nice. Actually, I think one of my sisters is somewhat like that. You know, learning about other cultures. So yeah, so write those different things that excite you. Like when you see them, or that you can read about that topic, and it doesn't feel like a homework assignment or something. Like it doesn't feel like me pulling out my accounting book and wanting to shut that down. Okay, get down. That's enough. It's enough of that. Okay, so, and again, what do you typically read? Like if you were to get a book, I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we have a lot of, you know, books about certain topics, and maybe it's not even related to entrepreneurship. Sometimes reading a book that's not related to about what it is that we do, you know, also can be helpful. He is like, I'm really trying to get up in your lap and play right now and see what's going on. Like, what has your attention? Will we doing this right now? Let me finish this up. Like, I'm almost done. I'm really almost done. So let me give you your ball. Give me a second. He's probably like, you are so mean. And I hope I didn't just show y'all all my goodies neither. I forgot what I had on for a second. So I apologize if y'all saw a little bit more than what you needed to see as I was getting up. I apologize. So yeah, so I know, right? I done closed them out. I'm like, I got on, and I hate when dogs jump up on you, even though his nails are done. But I'm like, I got on shorts today, dude. You can't be doing all of this. Like this, we can't be doing all this, okay? So I'm like, I need you to calm down. So I'm pretty sure I can hear him. He's right here laying next to the door. So when I come out, he's gonna be ready to play. All right. So I hope this has been helpful, right, tonight. Like some of the questions that I've asked, just to get the wheels turning. But this is one of those exercises where when you really have to ask yourself the questions. And, you know, listen to your life, listen to kind of like what excites you, what you kind of like gravitate towards, because when you understand the truth about yourself and what you can do and what you don't want to do, and then also what you need help with, you'll do so much better at serving your audience. You'll do so much better with showing up as your true authentic self and be transparent about what it is that you do, because you realize you don't have to know everything, right? So like I said, you just have to know more. If there's, you know, 2 people, 3 people in the room, hey, no more than those 2 people in the room. Yes, we have to do some personal coaching. And you don't have to wait till after the summit. I'm letting you know that now. Like, yes, I'm available and stuff. But yeah, so even when it comes to, you know, that's one of the things too. I think when people hear like, oh, I have to be the expert, I got to know more than the people in the room. You don't have to know more than everybody else in the room. And the people who do know something, when you say something, it's going to be like, oh, you know what? Yes. If anything, they're going to be amen, and agreeing with you with what it is that you're saying, because they already know this. But then the question is, a lot of times we know, but are we doing it? Okay. So again, you just got to know enough for your audience to learn something to be successful. All right, so you got to just know just a little bit more than that. Let me know if y'all have any questions. So I think next week, because I'm also part of another summit, so I'm actually going to have, I need to look at the time and see what time I have it on my calendar to see. Oh my gosh, letting go of what no longer serves you, Christy. is what I would say, is asking yourself, is it time to let that go? Maybe it served you for what it was supposed to do in that moment, but maybe it's time to move forward. And then you have to be at peace with letting that go. Okay. And the whole not judging yourself for letting it go, because you know that it was time to move on, that you did what was necessary. You stayed at that time for the right reasons, but don't stay for the wrong reasons. Oh, I could talk about this all day. This is like staying also, it reminds me of relationships, staying in relationships for the wrong reasons, staying in jobs for the wrong reasons and things of that sort. It's the same thing. Okay. And a lot of the times it's that whole fear of starting over, or feeling like you're supposed to be doing something else and not for sure exactly what that something else is, but knowing that this right now is not it and stuff. And maybe it may, take a few conversations and take a, don't force it. You kind of like want to get into the flow where it flows to you of what it is that you should be doing. And that's kind of like what I've, been telling myself is, too, because as I was doing the mastermind and stuff, I'm like, okay, great. And then as I'm doing this stuff this week, all this stuff that I did certifications on years ago, the healing and the personal stuff, all of that is coming back up. And I'm like, okay, God, I hear you, and things of that sort. So yes, I'm glad the mastermind did help you, that you are at peace, because that is a great place to be. Okay. And stuff, because we ain't got time or money to be wasting on things that no longer serve us, right? When to let go. So I'm actually gonna send you something on that. If not, it won't be tonight because it's kind of late, but I'm gonna send you something when I get back online tomorrow. But that is it, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and I am going. Thank y'all for hanging out with me in this Tuesday. I need to confirm that I'll be back next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I know that sounds crazy, right? But I'm actually doing a live next Tuesday with someone on another summit, and I wanted to use that time to do this, if this makes sense, at that time, instead of Girl Talk Tuesday, where I'm having a conversation with you guys on a certain topic. I wanted to, so the time might change next week while I do this at 6:30. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, at 6:30, because I have her scheduled at 6:30. So it might just be moved up, and if you can't catch the live, I understand. You definitely want to catch the replay, because it's going to be good next week, next week's conversation. So that is it, ladies. You guys have an incredible evening. For those of you who are catching the replay, make sure you do the hashtag replay. Come on, say hi. All those things of that sort. And I'll make sure I come back and acknowledge the comments and stuff. All right. Have a great evening.